Welcome one and all to the Lore You Know podcast. Join the panel as they explore the lore of the most charismatic universes the creative minds of science fiction and fantasy have to offer. Now, enjoy your menial day job, boring workout, or hopelessly miserable night alone as a couple of guys attempt to make it a little better by talking about some made-up crap.
Hello, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone that's listening.
I hope
Welcome.
that covers everyone that's listening.
Welcome to the podcast.
Any enlightened dolphins out there?
Any dolphin?
Thanks for
True.
listening.
Smartest animal. Actually, I don't know if they are, but anyway.
Perry the platypus.
Perry the platypus.
Platypi love this podcast.
There you go.
Know it.
Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Today we are going on to our third episode, talking about United Federation of Planets, also known as, the Federation. People just call them. If you want to go shorthand, save some time.
The Federation. It's already episode 3. I feel like we've come so far.
We've come so far. 3 episodes in. So countless hours of research. That's what you get here.
So many hours.
Tens of thousands, probably.
Sure.
An insane marketing team.
Oh, you know it.
It's nutty.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Scheduling team.
so the United Federation of Planets, right? It's basically just if you know about the Star Trek universe, that's kind of the good guy empire almost. So they're one of the galactic superpowers. Anyway, that's all we'll say to start off, and we've got, as always, Peter. What are you starting us off with?
So I got the pour one out segment for today. So I was just looking through some episodes, and there was one in the. So there's like a ton of different series. This one is in, I believe, the Enterprise. I'm probably wrong with what series that's in.
Just throw out a name.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah, Air Force One.
But the episode is called Threshold. This is a really, really weird episode. So what this is this guy, Tom Paris, wants to break Warp 10. Because apparently they couldn't do that before.
Question: what is Warp 10?
All right, quick Google search. Hey Alexa. I'm kidding.
So Warp 10 is like 10 times the speed of light.
Oh, okay,
Even though they've
okay.
broken Warp 10 in the past, it's complicated.
So
But
it's
basically,
like Mach. It's like Mach.
Yeah, it's like Mach.
Light.
It says it's a theoretical barrier for a starship with warp drive.
yes.
Of course. Wow.
And they want to break Warp 10, and he breaks Warp 10. And then they discover, there's something wrong with their DNA. I was like, that's probably nothing. So over the course of the next few hours, his skin starts molting, and he turns into a reptilian man.
That's
and
normal,
has,
right?
oh yeah,
I
it's
thought this was Star Trek, not Spider-Man.
it's completely no. He got bitten by a radioactive lizard in space.
Happens to all of us, right?
It's true.
He starts mutating. He figures out he can't breathe oxygen anymore. So, and then he just starts going insane. Talking to their doctor, who's a hologram in this series. Don't think too much about it. And they think, he's dead. And they want to do an autopsy on him. Then he comes back to life. Kidnaps the captain. Tries to travel and fix themselves. They crash land on a swamp planet. Him and the captain turn into salamanders.
Yes,
And
of
then
course.
mate and make salamander babies.
No.
Then turn back into
my-
humans.
What is this?
my-
Wait. Who turns back into humans? The salamander
Both
babies?
of them.
The
No, the salamander humans. The salamander people that turn into humans.
Are the babies still salamanders?
You know what I mean? No, yeah, the babies are still salamanders, and they decide to leave them there.
What is going on here?
Wait, so here's my question. So, it was like the writers were like, okay, so we want to make it so that he mutates, once he hits Warp 10, which
Warp
I
10.
understand. Like, that's kind of a cool concept. And then, he doesn't mutate because he starts mutating, and then this other guy that didn't go to like warp 10,
Yeah.
like he has the
Yeah,
same
what
thing
the
happen
heck?
to him.
I think
So-
my favorite part about this is the person he kidnaps is the captain of the ship, and they then at the very end they talk about like, Janeway, the captain, accepts his apology, but admits that she may have been active in the mating process. She may have even been the one to initiate it. So it's a very weird, awkward little.
So a lot of sexual tension from then on out in the crew, I'd say.
Yeah. The series is called The Voyager, and this is one of the bad episodes of the series.
I hope.
I really hope it.
And this is the best episode.
To be honest.
Psych.
But yeah, that is pour one out to the salamander people, because that makes no sense
All right.
whatsoever.
Pour one out.
Pour one out, man.
What are you guys
Oh,
drinking right
boy.
now? I'm drinking an apple LaCroix right now.
I'm drinking an apple.
Period. Yeah.
No, we're actually drinking caramel frappes from Starbucks, but not the actual ones.
Nah.
Like the little ones you buy in the glass bottles.
Oh, at like
That's it.
Target or something.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
at Walmart
it was at
actually.
Walmart.
It was hard. I didn't really want to go to Walmart, but I did. But we got fraps. So.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Just
I'm
to pour
drinking
one out.
lemonade that I spilled all over myself right now, but I don't really care.
That's tough.
Currently slurping it off the sleeves of his. Oh my god.
That would be something I could do. I probably won't today.
Yeah, I would suggest not.
That was not a soundboard noise, by the way. That was Sam.
Brutal.
We'll be here all week for the ASMR podcast. All right. Okay, so
All right, so let's hear more about the Federation.
yes. All right, so we're gonna move right into what is their reputation. All right. So
Hey, quick fun fact about
Yes.
Warp 10. Just doing a little research.
Sure.
I was doing research before the show.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I came so prepared. But
Whoa.
if theoretically, if you're going Warp 10, it's like the same as saying you're going infinite speed. So you could be at all places in the universe at the same time.
That's something I
It's
saw as
kind
well.
of
Like
weird.
they gain like infinite
wait,
information.
what?
So like, you have infinite speed, so you can just go places without like taking up time if you're going Warp 10.
Look, Noah, I'm studying physics right now, so I obviously know everything about the universe, and I don't know if that checks out.
Look, dude. Look, come on.
Sam,
It's gotta be real.
This is
Not
what.
It's in a sci-fi
the
show.
Star
Those are
Trek
always real.
Okay, but like all kidding aside, I actually think Star Trek it's from what I've heard, it's like a really scientifically accurate show for a science fiction show.
It really
For
is. They
sci-fi?
went out of their way to design it science fiction. Well,
Right.
scientifically accurate.
Okay, you know what would be
did-
the coolest job? I was like, if you know Neil deGrasse Tyson, he talks
Yeah.
with people about.
No, who's that?
Do you actually not?
No, I do.
Oh, I was like, what? Anyway, he's like this astrophysicist for anyone who doesn't know. But a lot of what he does is he'll be like basically the resource for when someone's making like a high budget sci-fi film. They'll be like, oh, we're trying to show these people orbiting a planet. Like, can you tell me how to, display
That's
that?
actually super cool.
Yeah, so
That's
like
pretty
he just
sweet.
gets to go around like meet with
Yeah.
I don't know executives and like tell them how to like display I don't know science fiction phenomenon, but whatever. Anyway,
That's really cool.
we'll move on to the reputation of the United Federation of Planets. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this. So, in a sentence to summarize it, the Federation had immense influence over the whole galaxy. So, like anything that does have massive influence over anything, it had people that liked it and people that didn't like it. So, and then also, like anything that has widespread influence, some of the facts that were spread about it were obviously factual and some were not so much.
Propaganda, one might say.
Yes, actually, that's in the next sentence of my notes. So,
Dang, Levi, where did you pull that word out of?
My brain? I don't know.
It's big word day here on the Lord.
you need to keep every word to 2 syllables, all right?
Yeah,
Actually,
okay,
syllables is
fine.
3, so
Or
Ah.
or like 10 letters. Like, come on.
or 10 letters is the maximum.
We'll cap it at 3 syllables. How's that?
Capita. Oh, we'll cap it at 3 syllables. Okay. Anyway. All right. So for example, so the Klingons, which if you don't know, they're kind of another humanoid species. So in the 23rd century, so look out, this is coming up pretty soon. They had a huge propaganda spike where they started claiming the Federation kept their Klingon prisoners in death camps, and they just like torture them repeatedly to find out military secrets and scientific secrets. So they were telling all their citizens and anyone that would listen, they're kind of like, all right, the Federation is just all these, jerks that are doing all these horrible things, because obviously they're their enemies. They want people on their side and not the Federation side. So yeah.
Oh, and by the way, for anyone wondering how loose the word how loose the word humanoid species is, quite loose in this scenario, because these Klingons have foreheads that are larger than shacks.
Their foreheads are sick. Massive foreheads.
Goodness.
Also, their foreheads look like
an 8 head, dude.
It's brutal, dude.
and their foreheads look like they could use it as a knife. Like, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Who's looking at a picture of one right now?
I'm looking at like
all of
10
us.
pictures,
Uses, like,
and I don't
cutting
really
board.
want to.
No, you could
Cool.
actually use it to cut. It would be like a headbutt. It's like the most deadly attack probably in their land.
Klingon, use headbutt. Your opponent's
It's
finger.
super effective. It's a normal type. It's super effective.
Okay, I just googled Klingons, and like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th picture is one in like a red velvet fedora and like suit. So that's
I need
kinda
to find this. Now.
Anyway,
I can't find it. Oh, that's sad.
so basically the Klingons had a difficult history when they kind of dealt with the Federation, to say the least. So 2 quotes that I found describe how how they would describe the Federation was the Homo sapien only club. So they kind of claim that they're claiming speciesism, which I learned is a word. And they also behaved, quote, like a gang of intergalactic criminals. So by now you've probably figured out that the Klingon Empire was kind of a big rival of the Federation, and they actually were on good terms with them for a while, because in the 2350s they actually signed an alliance, but it only lasted for like 20 years, which kind of sucks for them.
Oh, that sucks.
But kind of my point is that
Are
even
you trying to see if LeBron James' forehead is bigger than a Klingon's forehead?
Maybe.
is that what he's googling?
I
Alright,
look
we're gonna
over
pause
Levi's
it.
computer, and it's just a bunch of pictures of LeBron James and his terrible hairline.
It's like Levi's search
Are
history
those
is like
Klingons or LeBron? I can't tell.
LeBron James hairline HD analysis. I don't know.
HD. Gotta eat every wrinkle.
Yep.
No,
I
I'm
was
curious.
wondering, man. I was curious. 'Cause maybe LeBron James is like secretly a Klingon.
Who has the biggest? Wait, who has the biggest forehead of any? Like, okay, I'm just gonna
It's
look
LeBron
up
James, man. It's going to be LeBron
biggest
James.
forehead in the world.
With the way his hairline is currently receding.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wait, search Google biggest forehead in the world. Wait, actually.
You people at home do it as well.
Right now.
Alright, let's
Okay,
check.
well, we might want to try to get back on topic. Past LeBron.
Wait, are you looking at this guy on Twitter's forehead?
Topic?
No, the episode's on the
No, I'm
broad.
not. Okay.
Wait. Okay, I'm gonna send a picture in the Discord of like an absolute legend of a man. One sec.
Okay. Well, for while this is happening, we don't have too much to talk about, but just to fill a dead space, Noah, would you like to share with us maybe some funky quotes
Oh, dude.
that
So
you
I was
have
like,
heard from Star Trek?
I'm trying to find some, and I've never seen the show, so I'm like, it seems like a very quotable show.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
hear
Star
that.
Wars has some great quotes, and
Oh.
Lord of the Rings has some great quotes.
Great quote.
Great quotes.
Great quotas.
And I'm scrolling down like these lists, and number 20, there be whales here. Number 21, engage.
Like,
Like
what
these
is
are not,
this?
they're not quotes.
Wait.
The absolute unit.
Or are you looking at the picture?
Holy crap!
Wow.
I'm very
that's-
sorry for everyone. Yes.
This is
He's
obvious.
trying to throw a discus with his mouth.
This is
We're
obviously.
looking at a person who has like the
Clean plate award.
yeah,
Oh my.
who has like an insertion into their lip.
Hashtag
Where there's
no
a big
filter.
disc in it. and
Felt
it is
cute. Might delete
absolutely
later.
hilarious.
I'll put on a Visco.
What a great podcast episode. We're on an audio podcast talking about a visual that no one's gonna ever see.
That is so funny.
That's about the caliber that we run here.
At the Lori No Podcast. Check us out at thelorionopodcast.podbean.com.
Oh, good. Okay, so Sam, what else you got for
All
us?
right, what else do I have for you? So we had the treaty, and so kind of my point.
Wait, hold up. I found a great quote.
Okay.
It's from Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh,
I
yes.
said,
Jean-Luc Picard.
Star Trek episode Chain of Command, and it's there are 4 lights.
Wait, is this on Goodreads or what is it?
I'm on Wired, dude. It says 28 universally known Star Trek one-liners. So hopefully you knew that one.
I am using that from now on.
Well,
As
the thing is, these are probably
said.
like the biggest Star Trek lines ever, and like,
yeah.
and like everyone that's listening that has ever seen Star Trek is like, oh my god, these guys
Of course,
unsubbed.
Yeah, 4 lights, idiot.
There's 4 lights.
I think there were like 3.
Okay, no, number 9 I've actually heard on this. It says he's dead, Jim. I don't know where I've heard that from, but that one.
Probably
one-
like when you killed someone and then like told Jim about it or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Here's a good one. Damn it, Jim.
That's it?
Damn it, Jim.
That's what a great quote.
That's so applicable to everywhere.
Or shut up, Wesley. Dang, dude. I mean, I can really feel the
No, I
I
can
don't
definitely
think I'll
connect
ever
to
use
that.
that one because I've never met a single person named Wesley before.
Oh yeah, that's because you don't have any frats at your school.
Well, the rest,
That is
True.
true.
the rest aren't great quotes. Those are just the highlights I figured out.
Okay. So now back to Sam, back on top.
Anyway, back to me, guys. Come on.
Yes.
So now we've got that about 20-year alliance because it ended as most alliances do with a massive war. Actually, it didn't even say that it ended. The article I was reading, it was just like, and then they had a war in 2372. I was like, well, it's probably done by then. So definitely not an alliance during a war.
Yep.
So my point is that the enemies of the Federation, you know, even though they really didn't like them, they had an incredible respect for them. So there's this guy named like Kern, and he was like one of the high-ranking officers in the Klingon military, and he actually opposed the split from them because he thought his species was underestimating the Federation. And if you know anything about the Klingons, which some people here do, some people don't, which is fine. The Klingons, that's like a big thing for a Klingon to do because their species is all about kind of their species honor and combat and a full respect and confidence in their own Klingon species and Klingon race. So kind of took a lot from him to say that, and like obviously he really means it if he's going to do that because that's not inherent in how their society functions. So
That's kinda cool.
yeah. So a lot of, obviously, you know, we only talked about the negatives of how people see him, but there's a lot of positives. A lot of people wanted to join the Federation, and so there's plenty of that, and we're going to hear about that probably from Peter.
So is the Federation like kind of like the protagonist of the
Yeah,
Star
it
Trek
is.
universe?
Yeah, it's like the Empire. It's like the United States in like. I mean, okay, so that's
Well,
getting a little
Alexander-
political, but like I would like we'd consider like as Americans we'd probably consider us like the
Superpowers.
yeah, the superpowers of the world that are kind of
Sure.
looking out for
I would
everything.
say it's probably like how the Republic or like how Coruscant is in Star Wars.
Exactly.
I think that's the best way
Alexander
to
the Great
say
in
it.
his time
Because
in
like
Greece.
the Empire was not great in Star Wars.
No.
You know,
No,
was
but
really
these guys
waiting
were
for
good.
the Empire to take over
Yeah,
the world.
that's what I'm saying. Alexander the Great, because like people wanted to join them. There were still forces that opposed him, but he would come in. He would either conquer places, or they could also join him willingly, and then they
Alright,
just kind of
so-
all fought
so
together.
it was like the Mongol. Keep going. You're good.
The Mongols.
Not at all like a
Are
monk.
we an ancient history
no.
podcast now?
Yeah, actually, we might be.
No one should put on Mongols. Like it's. Like
I'm a history
Okay,
major,
so they're
I
basically like the
appreciate
ancient
that.
Egyptians.
No.
In conclusion.
Alexander the Great people. Very
Okay.
easy.
Anyway, so, okay, I'll finish off with one example.
Yeah.
I was looking at a quote, and someone described the Federation like root beer. And first of all, I had been reading all about like the sci-fi stuff, so I was like, what's root beer? I was thinking of like an actual root, and I googled root beer, and I didn't.
You didn't. No, you didn't.
And I thought it was like a
So funny.
I thought it was like a weird
beer.
type of
Star
beer,
Trek.
but no. And then it was like root beer, 178 calories. Like it's just like, and I was like, all right, I'm stupid. I'm a degen. Anyway, so basically they described the root beer to each other as bubbly and cloying and happy, just like the Federation. And they said cloying, by the way, is like, I had to look it up. It's like, I'll read you the exact thing.
But that's normal.
It's like
That-
sickening.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
People actually do that.
It's sickening someone with an excess of sweetness, richness, or sentiment. So basically, it's kind of over the top, and they're
So it's
saying,
like, kind of like Disney. Kind
Yes.
Of, I don't know if that makes any sense.
if you were at a company meeting and they were trying to act like Disney, you know.
Okay. Sure.
So it's like, anyway. So
Just excessive.
and they said what's really frightening, if you drink enough of it, you start to like it. So although I don't understand why they're saying it's like, I don't agree with their comparison of like root beer, but it does bring up a good point that people were put off by their kind of slightly pompous and possibly offsetting demeanor.
Yeah.
And they were like an interspecies and highly regulated empire, unlike the other ones.
Yes, very
That claim to be, you know, the most empathetic and rule following and peace loving and fairness seeking kind, and it's kind of like the least BA version, like empire out there. But once you really get past that facade of it kind of being like the dweeb empire, then they're actually really great, and it's beneficial to be affiliated with them. So
Okay. Cool.
anyway, that is my information on their reputation.
That was pretty interesting.
So I think we're stepping into kind of like what they stand for. Like, I guess, yeah, what they stand for. What is the United Federation of Planets?
Can I interrupt again? And
Yeah,
do a
sure,
nice,
stand
nice
for
brief.
No.
Totally fine. So I
No.
was like, I wanted to find some cool fun facts that I could kind of bring up and like make you guys seem like I really knew what I was talking about.
Ah, yes.
So I Google Star Trek lit facts. Right?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
as the
my.
kids would say.
As anyone in their right mind would Google. And what I didn't know is there's actually a Star Trek lit universe. So,
Wait.
What?
There's this. I don't even know what it is, but I was like lit facts, and all these pages are about this like actual thing in the Star Trek universe. So
Okay,
that's
well,
my segment.
Star Trek lit
Star
verse.
Wars literature. You ever
Oh my god, it is. No, it's literature.
What?
Noah.
Today we learned that Noah doesn't know what literature is.
Why is it litverse?
Noah, I googled it.
No, but like,
I clicked on the first link and it says,
no, like it like light, you know? Like,
no, it's not.
a thing.
No, it's
No.
not.
It's literature.
It's literature. Like, read it. It says the Star Trek lit verse reading guide. Like, obviously it's.
Why does it not say literature universe?
And then it's got like.
Why is the internet so confusing? Oh, it frustrates me.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then it's just got a
Okay.
bunch of picture of books. I don't know why. I don't know where you went astray here. You're like, yeah, so there's actually a lit verse in the Star Wars.
Hear me out. Because like they're talking about like it kind of goes on to like after all the series, it just has more info about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's like enlightenment, you know, about the series in lit verse
Or just literature.
or its actual writing,
Yep.
which makes less sense. But all right, that's fine.
No,
I
like the
get it.
second sentence of this thing explains it.
Just read.
Just incredible.
However, over the past
Very
50
true.
years, most pocket books novels have taken place in a shared continuity in which the events of one novel can and often do have major repercussions on the novel following it. This modern continuity will be referred to here as the Star Trek, in all capitals, Star Trek Litverse. So,
Alright, that's on them. You know?
Nope.
Alright,
I mean,
that goes
big
to
missed
show
opportunity.
How much I know about this universe.
The
I've never
Litverse.
once watched or read a Litverse or seen a Star Trek movie or.
Oh my. Okay, well this just kind of goes to show you as well that you can get into any universe and really like, kind of know at least a little bit about it without even watching it, and really kind of get encapsulated, or not encapsulated, but I don't know, enveloped by the universe without even watching, just kind of researching it. There's enough resources out there that you can do that.
I saw something. Okay, speaking of that, I saw something on Reddit the other day. It was like a shower thoughts post, and it was like, Wikipedia has to be one of humanity's greatest accomplishments. And
also
considering that a lot of the stuff we do the research on is like from a Wikipedia or a Wikia fan site, that's like so true.
Yeah, it's legit. Well, back to the United Federation of Planets, or the Federation. What they stand for, what they're really going for, they have kind of a couple documents that really tell what they stand for, but the general consensus is that they stand for, or want to produce, universal liberty, rights, and equality through the sharing of knowledge and resources and peaceful cooperation, scientific development, through space exploration and defensive purposes. And that's kind of their push. They really want liberty, rights, and equality, which seems like, hey, wouldn't everybody want that?
Yeah.
Which is true, but it just kind of goes off that Disney thing. They're all kind of, woohoo, liberty,
Sure,
rights,
yeah.
equality, great. Which
Almost like a
not to say it's
naivety
not.
to it.
Yeah, there is a little bit of naivety to it, and to share their knowledge.
Or at
and
least a
research-
perceived naivety. You know?
Yeah, exactly. They push for knowledge.
Yeah.
So there, a lot of it's space exploration. That's what the flight, or the Star Trek command, the military force, rather, is
The
called,
big military.
Starfleet is like their military force.
that's them.
What's kind of like what's like the plot of the whole Star Trek?
The plot is basically like an exploration ship going around trying to explore new worlds, encounter new civilizations.
It's like the
So-
coolest plot of any sci-fi. Like, it's literally just this, like a ship that's sent to explore the universe and learn new things.
Yeah.
See, that's what it is. It's facilitating this. They want scientific development and space exploration, and they shared like all their knowledge, like everything they knew. Everybody in the United Federation shared with each other. So there wasn't like any not knowing, and they had a government that was loosely structured off of what America's government is today. So it was very similar to America's government, which is a democratic republic for those who don't know.
Or for our Australian listeners, which there's
Yep.
0.
Or Canadians.
Possibly
I've
Canadians.
told some Australians about it. Maybe they'll listen.
Canadians. But they're a representative republic, so they send representatives into a republic very, very similar to our democratic republic that we have.
Like a senate, like kind of like in Star Wars, where like each species
Yeah.
will send.
And they actually do have division of or separation of powers as well, where they have a legislative, a judiciary, and an executive branch. So it's like, oh, this is basically America.
Well, wasn't it? It was created in like Earth. Like
Yes,
that's
it
one.
was. It's created on Earth.
Because isn't the capital in California, if I remember right?
It was in California, yeah.
Wasn't actual Earth like in the show?
Yeah. So actual Earth is in the
Humans,
thing,
humans are one of the 4 starting species.
Okay.
Yes.
Or starting.
which is a cool thing. Because I feel like in
Yeah,
sci-fi,
Exactly.
I don't know, like sci-fi, when there's something that has a world building to this scale, they usually don't actually have Earth in it. You know, you think of
Yeah,
like other
true.
It's
things.
like Earth is dead and gone and never there.
Exactly.
But these guys do.
Like Wally. Yeah.
Wally had Earth.
But it was dead and gone.
Yeah, but they were going back to Earth. That's the whole plot of Wall-E.
Noah's 0 for 2 in this episode.
It's okay. Do more research, buddy. Okay.
I love Wally.
And that's a little bit. Oh my.
You love
Wally
the word
episode
lit?
4. Noah's a big literature fan, I guess.
Yep. Basically, they just stood for, or strived for, knowledge. So they just kind of wanted to be a big old happy family that shared all the resources, and strove for just more knowledge and enlightenment. And that's kind of the whole point of the Federation.
There you go.
Cool.
All right. The capital is San Francisco,
Yeah.
California, and San Francisco, California, and Paris, France. I knew it was like 2.
We're in Paris, France.
Yeah, and it's
I've been
Because
Earth,
I've been-
so-
Picard is from Europe.
huh?
I think he's from France. Picard.
Oh yeah, Jean-Luc
Picard?
Picard. Yeah.
Yeah. I was in LAX like 2-3 weeks ago, actually.
Oh, really?
I would ask for.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I remember what. I'm not gonna expose you on the show, but
But yeah, it was good.
he's a professional athlete, so he was at a.
Not a professional athlete.
I knew that.
I'm a professional athlete.
Yeah, it's
You have amateur
Sure.
status, buddy.
Sure.
amateur status. Boy.
I know you have amateur status.
Oh,
Like legally, you have amateur status. Close.
And
though.
your sport is pretty amateur as well.
tell that to my sponsors.
You don't have any sponsors. You can't because you have amateur status.
Tell it to me.
But how did you guys do at your
those.
5th grade track and field meet?
This last weekend, we took a close L. Could have won.
Levi, I
The
just
one
said
that
your
was in-
5th
It's
grade.
'cause I tried.
Oh.
I tried to carry.
Oh, sorry, 5th grade track and field meet. Sorry, I thought you were just kind of alluding
This
to what I
last
was
weekend.
No,
Uh,
5th grade. I don't know.
I killed it. Highlight of my peak athletic career right there.
Yep.
Discus throw. Okay, Greek wrestling, first place.
Yep.
decathlon was kind of a grind.
Yeah, that was 5th grade.
Imagine you're in 5th grade and you've just got this gym teacher that forces like the whole school to do decathlon. So, all right, next up, marathon.
This is a javelin.
It's like
Okay,
this
well-
5th grader could
My-
barely lift
my-
his books.
My school is too poor, so we do the biathlon and
Throw our
the
own
5K
right.
at the same time, so that
Ah.
we're shooting at the people that are running on the 5K.
That's
Yes.
I see. Smart.
Yes,
Smart.
because that's what
Efficient,
happens in the
too.
biathlon. You literally shoot at people, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our
You are
targets
easy.
are people with like their logos are built in target formations. like a
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Good. Okay, so what were we talking about on topic? Because
This is.
I think we were-
What we were talking about.
I don't know. I'm just staring at that picture I sent in Discord and kind of contemplating my life.
I think
I'm
we-
trying to
you
figure
were
out how I
transferring to
didn't
me.
Figure out that
I think that was our plan.
But
Yes, we were
Okay.
transferring to Peter.
yeah,
So now we're gonna talk about like how do all these people actually join
good
the
question.
federation?
good
So that
question.
that comes into membership. So there's a couple ways that now membership is a species wide thing. So a species can gain like part of that, and that's different from Starfleet because Starfleet like a single person can get into Starfleet, but and I believe that actually has to do a bit with membership. But if a species wants to join it, it involves one of these membership pathways. There's 2 ways. One is invitation, and 2, which is pretty easy. Like just someone says, "Hey, you guys are pretty smart.
You want
Come
in?
join us. We're pretty cool. You can travel the galaxy and do cool stuff." I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Or petition. A petition
Verbatim,
is
by the way.
what'd you say?
Verbatim, by the way. That's how that goes.
Yes. Petition is like just like saying
you can come
I-
join. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
That was
the
our
main
story.
way that they do it.
Kinda cool.
I don't know. So
Oh my goodness.
there's a couple things that they need to have first. They need to be able to travel faster than light, so FTL technology to be able to move to other star systems
What
very
does-
fast.
What does FTL stand for?
Faster than light, right?
Faster than light, but I explained that in the first part.
For the lit.
For the lid.
For the literature, you
For
have
the
to travel
literature.
faster than
I get
books.
it now.
For faster than. Oh my god.
Then you have to have no discriminatory caste systems. And basically that means like having like a group, and then a group of people that everyone just sort of agrees is worse than everyone else. They don't allow that.
Basically, you just can't be Hindu. is
My
what you're
my
saying.
strict
Pretty
Hindu
much.
views would just not be tolerated. Then.
Yep. Not at all.
All right. Good to know.
I think that's cool. It's like because people want to be in the Federation, and it's like, okay, you can be with us, but you've got to, we'll have aid, but you can't do these things that are bad.
Yeah.
Which
There's
also
like
kinda
there's
goes
like
along-
moral status that you have to have.
Yeah, it
and
goes
then
along with their-
you also have to have stable planetary political unity. So the planet has to be under pretty much the control of one government, and everyone sort of has to follow that. There have been cases where they've considered planets that like half is controlled, there was one specific case where there was two species sort of controlling the same planet. One wanted to join the Federation, one did not. So they're like, okay, we'll let the guys that want to join, and the guys that don't, you guys can just stay there and not be moody and boring.
Okay.
They ended up not joining. But if you petition, then if all those steps are met at the onset, at the beginning, they're like, okay, let's make sure that you guys actually qualify. So they do a multiple-year inquiry where they investigate the society and the culture and the species themselves and say, okay, is this compatible with what we have? And they analyze their central computer, and apparently that's what everyone has these days, and say, okay, is your culture actually like, does it mesh with everything, or is it like we eat like a person for our Sunday dinner? Like we actually just like find a person, eat them, because that's just a normal thing to do.
So they basically kind of want to homogenize everyone that's in. Like they want to make sure that everyone fits a certain standard that's in the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's basically what they're going for.
If you're looking for a big word again, assimilation.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Whoa!
Careful.
Assimilation. 5 syllables, way too big for this podcast.
Yeah, get off.
Letters, too.
And the main question they asked themselves, there was 6 main values they had to sort of have. Did they value benevolence, peaceful coexistence, cooperation, rule of law, equal rights, and justice?
Good.
And they analyzed their culture and their
And
practices.
Minecraft.
And Minecraft, of course. That's one
And
of the
Roblox.
4. That too.
What?
That's very important.
No, they'll kick you out if you like those.
And Nickelback. Everyone had to be a massive Nickelback fan.
Has to be a Nickelback fan.
That's why there are no members of the Federation.
Yes, exactly. Spare sparse.
Everyone's just like, nah, dog, I'm out.
So I'll go. So one case study I found was there was one episode where this planet called Angosia, and the people who live there, the Angosians. Wow, I'm so
Naturally.
surprised. That's the
Original.
name.
I love we
Wanted
all
to join the
comment on that.
Federation. So at that point it was Jean-Luc Picard and his group were analyzing people and analyzing the culture. And then they heard, oh, this guy escaped from a prison. Turned out it was one of the veterans from a war the people had. And they keep all their veterans in cages in a prison because they've genetically modified them to be incredibly dangerous and deadly in combat and be non-detectable to sensors. So they're just killing machines. So they
No, that's fine. Let
engaged-
him in, right?
Oh yeah. So the people, the Angosians, thought, okay, this is fine. Let's encage them, not let them act in normal society, and no one will ever find out about them, and we're all safe. And if we ever need them again, we could just bring them back out. And they never attempted to rehabilitate them. So they were...
Wait, so I'm
This is
assuming
not
they
very
did
smart.
not get let into the Federation.
They did not get let in.
Like, we all go through that phase, you know? Come
where
on.
we're all terrible to other people.
Nope.
I mean,
Didn't go through
America.
that phase.
Yes.
I didn't. America, meh. I didn't go through that phase.
Levi's.
No,
yeah,
not
Levi's.
ever.
Levi's encaged his fair share of veterans. You know,
Yup, you know me.
everyone does. I have.
So we talked a bit about the. I'll say one last. I'll go into a bit of the history of like how they founded in the first place.
Yeah.
So the Romulans were doing some scouting, and they were starting to get back into it. Romulans are sort of like the Klingons Part 2, but they're a totally different species, and they do totally different things, but they're also really dangerous. And they're very insular and xenophobic, so they were going to go out and stop people from ever doing anything. So 4 species: humans, the Tellarites, the Vulcans, and the Andorians band together at San Francisco and made the headquarters there, and then attacked the Romulans, stopped them, and they're like, "Hey, this is a good group." They called it the Confederacy of Planets, or the Federation of Planets, and then they added more people. They turned it into the United Federation of Planets. And now they just add people left and right whenever they find people that want to join, and fit.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So do they do a ton of recruiting, or is it pretty much like they have a ton of people that want to join?
Well, it's like the people who can hear about it will want to join if they're like. It sort of works in terms of if their cultures are compatible. If it's a culture that enjoys the rule of law, enjoys like being with other species, trying to figure out problems, and banding together, and they have the technology level where they can receive radio transmissions and meet a group of people to let them into the Federation, they can join into the Federation.
Also, if I'm like if I'm correct in remembering this, I'm pretty sure that so the Federation does not contact or like let you know at all about them or any other species until your species has developed faster than light travel. So,
Right.
which I think is
Or
really
the
cool.
Prime Directive.
Yeah. So basically, they're like, okay, we want all of the all the species to. They don't want to hinder their growth. They want it to be organic. And then once they've reached, basically an interstellar species, then that's when they're like, okay, hey, welcome to, the galaxy.
So like all the individual, like, I don't know,
species
like have developed at different rates.
Yeah, they grew all on their own, and then once everyone, then they kind of all convene once they all get, I don't know.
That's really cool for like an exploration type of movie.
Yeah.
That's really
No,
cool.
I love that. That's one of the reasons I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about Star Trek.
Yeah. Have you guys, Sam and P, have you guys seen many Star Trek? Because they have TV and movies, right?
Yeah.
I've seen some of the first series. I've seen
the original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen bits of Next Generation. That's the one with Picard. I've been talking a bit about them. And I believe there's like 3 or 4 other series. There's one currently, I believe, on Netflix.
No, it's on CBS All Access. So,
That.
which it's like, what is that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I watch it. I just keep signing up for free trials and like redoing it every time. But
Is it good?
Oh, it's so good. So I'll just hop into what I've seen. I've seen a few of kind of the more classic episodes, because my family, shout out to my dad and my brother that are probably gonna listen to this. They're big Star Trek fans.
Trekkies.
Yeah, they're big
Trekkies, that's what they're
Trekkies.
called.
But yeah, so then my dad was like, okay, so a new one's coming out, you gotta try it. So I was like, all right. And so I've been watching this one religiously, and then it's really good.
I feel like this is a kind of where a lot of people are at right now. There's like so much like about the Star Trek universe. Like there's a lot of movies and there's a lot of TV shows that I would have no idea where to.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what like, I kind of want to get like immersed in the
At
universe.
least watch like or a couple of TV shows, or
I-
like.
There
I have no
are.
idea where to go.
So I've looked up like watching guides on Reddit. And I probably just when I watch it, I like watching like Next Generation stuff.
Name of a series, though.
There's some newer movies as well. That are sort of like not
canon. right?
canon, but they are part of their own canon that takes old stuff and makes it more cinematic.
If
and
it
cool.
wasn't confusing enough.
Yeah,
honestly.
that confuses me right there.
Wait, if I were
There's
you,
a movie
okay,
that's not canon.
just
Or
hop
maybe
into
maybe Noah, you could just read the lit verse.
yeah, read the lit
You
verse.
mean
Obviously, we
watch
found
the
our
lit
answer.
verse? I think it's just a different.
It's a TV series. It's an anime.
It's a different series.
Good. What you were saying, Sam?
Yeah, no. If I were someone that wanted to hop into it, because that was kind of me. Just find a series. I would suggest like the newest one, because it's the newest one, and just start watching it. Because they all can be watched on their own too. It's not like they expect you to have watched another of the
Oh, yeah, that's
series,
good.
but it does make it more fun when you know all the background.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's fine if you don't.
I feel like even just listening to you guys talk about it, I have enough background info to where I probably could watch it.
Right.
Kind of know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. It's cool because it's cool because you get an understanding of all the different species too that come up. Like the Vulcans, for example, are all about logic. So when you see one on screen, that makes you think, I don't know, more differently about them, and it kind of adds a whole nother level to everything.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But right away you wouldn't catch up on that. But after watching it a little bit, you kind of know those things. And
It's cool how like it's an adventure movie out in space, but what it sounds like they really are examining core values that we hold as and,
That's
like,
really
what
cool.
drives us.
mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
to join the Federation, you have to have the same values as them, and they'll
Yeah.
like you're talking about these different species have different ways of life. It's cool how like even in the Star Trek outer space realm, people here on Earth have the same interactions with each other.
Yeah, I just like the
That's
whole
really
idea of
awesome.
exploration. It's so cool.
Oh yeah,
There's no other series like it.
it's like me during a run play at Madden. It's just an exploration.
Who plays
Wow.
Madden anymore? Everyone plays FIFA.
Like, all my
Yeah.
friends play Madden.
Rip.
I don't play any of those
Who
kinds
plays
of
Madden anymore? Don't you guys all just play Super Mario Bros. 1? Over and over? Just kidding.
Over.
My newest game of pleasure is the new Spider-Man game on the PS4.
Oh, you bought that?
Oh, it's so good.
Game looks lit actually.
It is my
Lit
favorite game
verse,
I've
yeah.
played this
I
year.
read the lit verse for it.
It's a good lit verse. I'd give it a check.
That's called comic books in that community.
Wow.
So, Peter, you got any more on the...
No, that's pretty much what I found about that, and there's probably that's pretty much what I found. What they were saying about membership.
I don't know if either of you have this answer to this, but I'm looking at a picture of the USS Enterprise, Starship Enterprise, and there's a bunch of different like models of it. It looks like.
Because they sort of like they have like a new ship for each one, and they sort of look like the U.S. Enterprise, but they like remake it a bit to look different and cooler and sleeker.
So for like each different like part of the series, or
Also, sometimes it gets destroyed. Like, I remember the last movie I saw, I can't remember which one it was, but it was like legitimately like destroyed, and then they just made another one and said this is the new one. It's like if your dog dies and then they're like, this is the new Marco or whatever you call it.
Yeah, you can name the same thing.
Oh,
You just name it the same.
Dog.
what a great
Marco?
analogy.
They do that like quite often with ships if one is destroyed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
there
you
you go,
can-
spaceship. So,
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Well, very similar at least.
but okay, a cool thing about the Enterprise, well, a cool thing about any of the space exploration ships is that they're completely self-sustainable. So they all like make their own food, and they have like they don't just have like 5 gunners and like a pilot and like 3 scientists. They've got janitors. They've got people that it's basically like imagine a cruise ship but times
It's like
100.
It's like Wally.
Okay, yes, it is like Wally. We'll give you a win here, buddy.
okay.
Yes.
Dude,
One
it's
out
the
of
day for you.
5, maybe.
Oh.
It's okay. It's just
Hey,
an off day. Everyone's
You
got
just keep-
those
you
days.
just keep trying eventually. You hit a home run.
Maybe not.
I don't know if I call that a home run, but
You got
Right.
to first base. Just let's leave it there.
it was like a
Alright,
bunt.
a little bit shorter of an episode little bit shorter of an episode today, but no, that's okay sometimes.
It's alright. We'll make it up next time. We'll do a 17-hour episode.
No, we won't. we will not do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Anyway, but yeah, anything else to add, friends?
I got nothing.
No.
Man.
Yeah, it was
Well-
interesting to hear more about the Star Trek universe. It's one of the
Yeah.
ones I've always wanted to get into, but it's very
I
intimidating.
literally
Just dive
know
right in.
nothing. Like, have known nothing before this. So
Yeah.
it was definitely really cool to listen
So-
to.
Yeah, no, I think it was fun, and I mean, this is something that we're a little less well versed in, but we try to do the research to, we're obviously gonna give you guys true information, not just make it up, which we have the resources
to the
to
best
do,
of
so-
our ability.
to the best of our ability, right? But yeah, so if you guys want to help us out, or if you haven't already, make sure to leave us a review on iTunes, subscribe to it, and yeah, just keep listening
Leave
to
what-
it. Tell your friends.
Leave what series you would like to hear us cover next time. We would love to take, if anyone
that's
wants
good.
to talk about,
Yes.
hey, I want to hear this series, we'd
Just-
love to cover
just
it.
Smash that like button, press subscribe, ring the bell.
Hit the bell. Check out our Patreon. Psych, we do not have that.
You should get a Patreon.
We would get $0.
Yeah, dude, it would actually make no.
We'd make negative money. Somehow.
Yeah, we'll pass.
Peter slowly dies inside. Laughing as we immediately shut down his idea.
No, I was just joking with it.
Kidding.
Good. Okay.
Alrighty, well, we'll cut it here. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you, everybody.